Alright, so everybody's wondering about this transmission. So this is a 4R100. This is a comeback. Got 4 sleep on the bell housing. Anyway, this one here was working just fine, and then I don't know what happened. What the hell is that all about? I guess that's, never noticed that before. That snap ring, that E-clip on the manual valve there. It's a little bit different. I'll have to look that up. I never noticed that before. What the hell is that all about? Must be a stop for it so it don't go too far through is the only thing I can think of. Anyway, so what it's doing there, it threw a 733 incorrect gear ratio. Usually that means there's something slipping. And that's 3rd to 4th, so that's direct clutch. So I already checked the A and B shift solenoids. I didn't see anything wrong there. So let's start pulling this. This is your accumulator valve body. This is your upper and lower bodies here. So let's pull, I'm thinking I'm probably gonna just leave the shift coils, leave them on there. Let's pull the accumulator valve body off. Man, these things are a mess when you work on them. Just oil going everywhere. Oops. Now, I put a shift kit in this thing, and you're probably looking at this plate that's on here. This is the calibration plate for this Transgo shift kit. So you can actually, if you want firmer shifts, there's some holes in here if you follow the directions that you can put in there and make the shifts firmer. So there's a screen right here. I'm kind of wondering what it looks like. If it's full of material. Looks pretty clean. There's some silvery looking stuff coming out there though, making me wonder a little bit. See if we can see a valve that might be hanging up or stuck. That's the end plug. There's the spring for that one. So, you know, that one's got a spring on it. So why isn't that valve all the way that direction? Let me get a pick or a screwdriver and let's check this one here. I mean, wouldn't that come... I see the springs on this end of it, so I would think that maybe... Let me... Yeah, that valve was stuck. That son of a bitch was stuck right there. That valve was stuck, so I need to look up and see what valve that is. We may not have to go any further. That was definitely stuck in. That valve was. So let's pull it out of there. See, it's stuck again. It's not going all the way back. Trying to see if there's any material that's in there that's causing that valve to not return all the way to the end. It's definitely hanging up. Yeah, it's hanging up right there at the end. That valve is definitely hanging up. Right down there on the end. I've got a bunch of Bench Buddy brush bores we can take in there and see if we can get it to where it'll free up. So that is the line pressure modulator 73. It's the line pressure modulator valve. So if that's sticking, man, wouldn't you think you'd have more than one shift problem? I might still keep going, and since I got it out, and pull the rest of it all apart and just make sure it's right. I don't know. I already pulled the lower valve body off, and none of the shift valves are stuck. So let me get this one to where it's working right. I need to make sure it returns all the way where it's supposed to. Alright, so we got this, see this little board brush? This is a Bench Buddy board brush. So I took that valve out 2 or 3 times. This is the main regulator valve, and I finally got it to where it was hanging up in there. Wasn't it, Trent?
Yes, sir.
So now, see how I don't know if you can see that, but see that valve is clear up against the end of its stroke up there against this land here, against the valve body. So now you can take this pick in there and compress it all the way back, and see, and it hung again. Some bitch, I thought I had it. See, now it's not hanging. Maybe I cocked it a little bit sideways or something with the pick, but now it's not sticking, whereas it was sticking every damn time before. Seeing it hung up again. So we're going to work on that one a little more. We'll polish on that a little bit more with that board brush, but we're going to, I mean, we already got the damn thing out. I'm going to tear some more stuff apart here, make sure there ain't nothing else wrong. This is the last time I'm tearing this piece of shit apart. I'm going to leave the solenoid pack in it. And then we're going to pull all these Let's see, you're supposed to leave that one. Nope, I have to have a battery in it, huh? Supposed to be 14 bolts you take out here, plus 2 nuts. I don't know, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you leave. Wait a second. That's wrong. This threaded bolt here. Wait a second.
This one here.
It's this one there. Yep. These 2 here you leave in there, so I screwed up. This one and this one you leave in, so I'm just gonna. Yeah, those 2 you leave in to hold the upper and lower together. Alright. Then pull all these out. And here is the upper and lower valve body. I don't think there's any balls underneath this one. Ball checks, they're all underneath that main valve plate. So we'll pull it out too. But you can actually take this one here apart. Your shift valves are all right here. This is your manual valve. Get all the bolts out of it here. Get them set aside here. What the hell's that? Oh, that's a bubble. I thought that was a piece of metal there, and I thought, what the hell is that? Okay, this is your manual valve when you actually get in the vehicle and shift it from park neutral and reverse neutral and drive. We can look at these and see if there's anything sticking in one of these, which I don't think there is. I looked at it before. This is the one of these is the one that I pulled apart the first time, and the damn thing had a spring in there sideways on the, because it wouldn't shift out of first. Or it wouldn't shift in, wouldn't even downshift at first. Didn't have any first at all. It was stuck in second. Right off the bat here, I'm not seeing anything screaming to me that there's a stuck valve in any of these. These all look good. We'll just kind of check them with a pick to make sure they're all moving freely. And just take it like that, see, and it's valves moving back and forth. I see nothing wrong there. This one here I'm having trouble getting on. Oh, I'm on the wrong end of it, that's why. This one returns this way. None of those valves are sticking. Those are all fine. Come to think of it, I gotta pull that solenoid pack out of there because I gotta pull that solenoid pack out because of the valve. This pan won't come out of there unless you pull that off. So what the hell am I thinking, huh? So I'll flip it upside down, the case upside down. That way we can keep track of all our ball checks. Alright, let's pull this. Yeah, I gotta pull that. I was thinking, I don't know why I was thinking. I gotta pull this. You gotta pull this because you can't get this band out because the accumulator piston, or not accumulator piston, but the piston that runs the band is underneath this plate. So you gotta pull this, you gotta pull the solenoid pack out. Be another good thing for old Trent there to learn one of these piles of shit automatic transmissions. There's more oil going everywhere. And then we take our, turn it loose a little bit. I'm gonna flip this case and turn it kind of upside down. That way all our little balls that are in there kind of stay accounted for. We'll just go like this right here. Turn her just like that. Put this here camera right here. And then we'll take these 3 bolts out for this retainer plate or whatever the hell they call it here. Now we'd be very, very careful. And that gaskets might actually stay together as an assembly. We're going to have to get another gasket kit for it. Okay, that's looking alright. I don't see a torn valve body gasket or nothing. Another thing you got to look for when you get problems like this. Make sure you don't have a torn valve body gasket. As you'll see here, this is that piston I was telling you about right there. We'll pop it out of there, and then we'll have to, if we can, damn camera there. There you go. I'll have to get a bigger pair of pliers. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. Can't get a hold of her. And then you got all these ball checks. There's 1, 2, I think there's 8 on this one. And this is the Epc Relief. You got to keep track of this. That goes in right there. That's the Epc Relief. So let's put that somewhere where we can find it. And then we got to get all those out of there. And then there's our feed tubes for intermediate and trying to remember what the other one feeds. I don't remember. I know one of them feeds intermediate. I think one of them might feed forward and direct, I think. Yeah, forward and direct clutch. Or some Nipex would be perfect for that. They're probably on the bumper, more than likely. Yeah, when I was working on this truck this morning. This is, get this out of here. Grab her just like so and pull her out of there. Alright, so pull the pump body bolts out of it. This is your turbine shaft. Point it out. Okay. Somebody here, Dick? Don't kill him. We might need him. We might need him. Don't kill him, buddy. Okay, I gotta get my slide hammer. There's threaded holes in this pump somewheres. You slide your slide hammer in there, huh, buddy? Here, hold this here camera here and pay attention here, son. We'll show you how to do this here. Take this apart. If I can get a hold of this. Okay, pull on that out of there like that, sir, right there, fucking sprag in there. That's your coast clutch assembly. Let me find a screw driver. I don't know if this one's going to be a man enough screwdriver to get this here done. Pop this here snap ring out.
My pickup's got one of those and it's like, oh, I don't know, it's like 100.
What, a snap ring?
Yeah. And it's like 100 something foot-pounds. Get it off or some stupid shit like that.
Okay, let's see, let me get your overdrive clutch back if I remember right. So what is that? We'll just look at this here book. Try not to lay it on oil that's laying on the bench. We'll take a look at our clutch packs that are pretty much brand new. That would be overdrive clutch pack. That's what I thought. And I wasn't having any trouble with that, so you can look at those. Those all are in good shape. All the frictions, we'll reuse all those. Ain't nothing wrong with those. Okay. Okay, then that's your planetary set right there. We'll just kind of lay all that stuff back like it went. Okay, now what we do is pull the feed tube bolts out right here. This homemade spring compressor I made years ago. I had a plate, and this plate fits just right over that. And this here plate goes in there like that, and then you take a couple pump bolts, if I remember right. What I used? No, I had a couple of these bolts right here. And I take a couple of these, try to go straight across from one to another is what I try to do. Something like that right there. Thread them in there quite a ways, get a little meat on the bone there. I bought the special tool that pulls the direct forward clutch assembly out. It's kind of hard to make. I don't know, not really. It's just got, you'll see it's got some special notches and stuff on it. So take this here, and this is all to get that snap ring out in there. So take this down like so. And then it don't take much. We'll just take these pliers, and this will make it so you can get that snap ring out of there. Now that snap ring ought to come out of there without too much of a fight, I think. Okay. Here's our snap ring right here, but I think I need a bigger screwdriver than that. I had a big Napa screwdriver. Big Napa screwdriver, Carlisle screwdriver ought to do the trick. There, now, and then you can just kind of work it out as you go. Sometimes they can be quite a little pain in the ass. Sometimes it's hard to get it around the tool, so if you get it all the way out of the groove like that, pull it out of there. Take the tension off your your homemade spring compressor. Just a piece of plate, some hall thread, and I welded a nut on the end of it, and I welded a nut on this end, and I welded a nut for the thread so it'll thread down. And just cut it to fit across there, and cut a couple notches in it to bolt it down, and it seems to work pretty damn good. They wanted like 120 bucks for that, and I'm like, you gotta be shitting me, man. I ain't paying that for that. Okay, so now 15 millimeter, pull the feed tube bolts out.
I've got one over here. Do you want me to go get it?
Impact?
It can be on an impact.
Yeah, we'll get it. Yeah, these, you got to pull these 3 feed tube bolts out. We're not going to go all the way down to low reverse and all the planetaries in the back, because I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's basically the 4 direct clutch assemblies where we're having trouble at. What the hell is that right there? You see that? What the hell's that? I just seen this laying in there. What the hell is that? Huh. What is that all about? Zip those out of there, all 3 of them. 15, isn't it? Are they 15 or 9/16?
They look like 9/16.
It might even be 13. I don't remember. And that return spring all looks like it's clocked correctly and all that, so I don't see nothing wrong there. What are they, 13? Yeah. Zip those out of there. What are you doing there?
Help clicking the battery.
Okay. Let me get this. This can be tricky sometimes. Oh, I've had these things fight me before. Getting them to slide out of there. Ah, just like that. They can be a bear. Camera. There you go. I don't know if it works anymore.
Nice. You guys have a nice fall?
Yeah. Get the return spring on that. Okay. Now the center support. This is the center support. How the ceiling rings look. There's a couple ceiling rings there. Flush washer on the back. And every time you rebuild one of these, replace that bearing or that'll really bite you in the ass. Okay, now we're down to our intermediate clutch pack. And that's where I grab a pick and I start digging these out. This is our intermediate clutch pack. Let's look at these. What do these look like? Look good. Those look good so far. Trying to get a hold of this. Not being very nice to me. Need 2 hands. So all the clutch packs are looking good so far. This is going to be the backing plate. Now, pull the band out of it. Just take a, what'd you do with those? I was going to say that big long pair of those pliers you had, but I can get them out. I think I can get it. Where's that big long pair of needle nose pliers? Pop it out of there. The band looks in good shape. Okay. Now, this is where the special tool comes in to play. It's got little notches here. They're off, you know, they're 180 degrees out from each other. Slide it over the clutch drum, and you'll see once I get it out what I'm talking about. It should lock in there like that. Stay somewhere light. Tighten your wing nut up. Take the whole damn thing, pull it all out as an assembly. And that's as far as we're gonna go. That is your, down here's your low reverse, and nothing wrong with that. So we're not gonna mess with that. So this forward, let's see, I'm trying to remember which one's direct. This one's forward clutch. So then you can take this here whole clutch assembly and separate them like so. You take the shell off.
I don't know if it's recording.
Yeah, it's blinking.
Okay.
The red light's blinking. I'm trying to remember which one's direct and which one's forward clutch. I don't remember. Direct clutch, forward clutch, sun shell assembly. Trying to remember on component rebuild. You got to go over to component rebuild and look at that. Okay, yeah. Okay, forward clutch. Direct clutch is going to be this one down here. This one right here. Which, I mean, we'll pull it apart. I know there wasn't nothing wrong with forward clutch, but I mean, so far I don't see nothing wrong here. Usually you'll see discoloration in there. If they're burnt, you'll see a bunch of discoloration in there. Usually when you see an incorrect gear ratio code, where's that little frickin' screwdriver? Probably put it up. Here's direct clutch. And third gear is going to be direct clutch. Okay, let's take a look at her. There's the sprag. That's brand new too, so there's nothing wrong with that. What the hell's all that shit though? Look at that.
Ooh.
What the hell's all that shit? Where'd that come from? Where'd all that stuff come from?
That looks like bearing material.
Oh no, that's fiber.
Is it fiber?
That's like clutch material. So look at all that stuff.
Did it come off of this clutch right here?
That's just a thrust washer is all that is. Well, I'm not understanding that. Where in the hell all that stuff come from? What the hell? It's not even really... I mean, it's not even really clutch material, it doesn't seem like.
Seems like plastic.
It's almost like it's paper or something.
Like parchment paper.
What the hell is that stuff?
Because you can see through it. You hold it up.
Was it getting in the sprag and the sprag wasn't holding or something, I wonder?
You can see right through that.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell the deal is with that. That's a little bit odd. Okay, got the clutch back out of there. Here's our direct clutch. And see, these so far nothing wrong with those. There's nothing wrong with those. Nothing wrong with direct clutch. So I'm not even going to pop the clutch piston out. There's no sense in doing that. If the clutch piston was bad, I guarantee you those frictions would all be burnt up. So what happens is when you get a bad clutch piston seal, it'll partially engage this piston and it won't have enough holding pressure and it'll let it slip. God, I'm wondering if that shit was getting all up in there and binding that up and not making that sprag work right. That is really strange. What is that shit? Well, that's weird. Huh. I don't know. It's really strange. Well, I don't know what to think about this thing. Well, any of you experienced automatic transmission guys, would that line pressure modulating valve cause a no upshift? I mean, I would think if the line pressure wasn't right, I wouldn't think that it would shift right. Is my thoughts, but anyway, I don't know. It'd be nice to have a 100% definitive proof of what the problem was, because I don't see it here. I mean, well, and I really can't explain that stuff. That's really strange. And how the hell did it get between? How the hell did it get? Did it spin this? I was trying to see if this thrust washer was damaged and maybe it spun it on there and just peeled it, and that's what we're. You know what? That's what it is. That's what it is. That thrust washer is spun. That's what we're seeing there.
Could that be the problem?
Well, I think that is the problem.
Because it looks, that stuff that you just
So you
pulled out of there?
take that sprag. So you take that, let's see here. That sprag goes on the back of this drum. See, that son of a bitch is supposed to have 3 notches in it, I think. That thrust washer is supposed to have 3 notches in it that holds it on there. See, that's where all that material come from. The tabs are gone on it. So what the hell, huh? Let's get in the book here. I know I checked rotation on that before I stuck that damn thing on there.
Because here it is, right here.
There's this, yep, there's the, Trent's got his finger on it. There's the thrust washer with the 3 tabs, and the tabs are gone. Intermediate sprag assembly. Okay, so let's see how. And I put a brand new sprag in there, and you check rotation on it. So let's see what the hell happened there. Just some of the direct clutch where it tells you when you're putting that sprag back together. Place the direct clutch housing on a flat work surface in the direction shown in figure 114. Install the number 7 thrust washer, which is screwed up. Install the intermediate sprag assembly and outer sprag race as shown. Okay, outer sprag race should freewheel counterclockwise and lock clockwise as shown. I wish I would have spun that bastard before we popped it off of there. Okay. So it's supposed to freewheel, what, counterclockwise and lock clockwise?
Yep.
So that's locking counterclockwise. It's supposed to go the other way, isn't it?
outer sprung sprag race should freewheel counterclockwise and lock clockwise.
Let me get my shit together here. And son of a bitch. Now I can't seem to get my shit together here and get this back together right. Having a hell of a time here. Okay. It's the wrong way. Take this one here. Put this like this. That's what happened. It must have been backwards, huh?
I feel like it would have done more.
But I think it would have.
Yeah. Should freewheel counterclockwise and lock clockwise.
So it's freewheel. I swear I checked those before I put them on there. So it's freewheeling. Okay, well guys, that's definitely what the problem is. Looking at that thrust washer, the only thing I can think is all that material, that's definitely from that number 7 thrust washer. Somehow, I don't know, the only thing I can think is it must have, or did something get down in there and the clearance wasn't right and it spun that thrust washer. My only thinking is on this thing, it was either in there, but see, that's kind of weird. It was shifting in all gears. I wouldn't think you would have had, I think it was together right to begin with. I really do. You know, as far as rotation goes, I know I checked it. Because you guys saw me on the test drive. I drove it, it had all 4 gears. I didn't have any problems. And then he drove it for a couple days and then it did that. So why in the hell did it do that? Why would it have sheared off those tabs on that thrust washer and spun that thrust washer on there? That is really odd. Well, only thing I can think of, maybe the thrust washer didn't get set on there right. Maybe I didn't get the tabs lined up on it or something. And then it's just spun them off there. Well, I don't know. I guess that's where we'll start. We'll get a new gasket set for it. And
new thrust washer, right?
New thrust washer, new gasket set. Clean all this shit up again. Polish up that one valve bore real good to make sure that valve's free, and then put her back together and see what happens.
I wonder if stuff from that got into that valve bore.
Well, that's very possible.
But I would have thought we would have found evidence of it before right there.
Huh. Well, anyways, guys, we're going to clean this bench up and try to organize this shit a little bit and get all the ETF off the bench here and clean that up. So, I guess any automatic transmission guys, let me know what you think about that. Yeah, those 3 tabs right there, and they're gone. Why would that spin them tabs off there unless either you had it, either didn't have the tabs in there or something, I don't know. Okay, thanks for watching.